Hello, guys. So the argument this week has been the better midfielder between Declan Rice and Moises Caicedo of Chelsea, and you know it is such a bizarre thing that anyone with a football knowledge would sit down and start comparing Declan Rice and Caicedo. Hello, guys. Welcome to Football Village, the show that brings you closer to the constructive criticism of our football games. And yes, we do not have any club football this weekend because of international break. The guys have gone to represent their various countries for their friendlies or qualifiers, and and all. And so, guys, there is no football to criticize this weekend. But instead, I want to weigh in on the arguments that is going on right now in the English media, especially, and that is the argument that Moises Caicedo is a better midfielder to Declan Rice. And please, whoever started that argument, she just sits down and keep quiet. You know nothing about football. If you call yourself, or if you want being a professional footballer, and then you feel or you think that Moises Caicedo is a better midfielder to Declan Rice, then I'm so sorry. You know nothing about football. You know nothing about football. Declan Rice, this is one player that he has been going from strength to strength ever since we signed him. He has been going from strength to strength. This is one player that his levels ever since he joined Arsenal, his levels has gone so high. That right now, he's among just three midfielders in world football right now that will walk into any team and go straight into their first 11. I'm talking about Vitinha, I'm talking about Pedri, and I'm talking about Declan Rice. Those are the three midfielders in world football today that will walk straight into any midfield. Yes, any midfield in world, any club midfield in world football today, and then they walk straight into the first 11. That is how good Declan Rice has become. That is how high his levels has gone. So you don't compare Declan Rice and Caicedo together. Caicedo, I'm so sorry, Caicedo would never walk straight into a Madrid first 11. It is not possible. Caicedo will never walk straight into Barcelona's first 11. It is not possible. Caicedo will never walk straight into PSG's first 11. It is not possible. It is not possible. But Declan Rice, trust me, he walks straight into any first 11 in world football today. I'm so very, very sure. Even Chelsea fans themselves, they would definitely want Declan Rice in that team. And that is how good Declan Rice has become. That is how good he is. That is how well his levels have gone so high. So you don't compare Declan Rice and Caicedo together. I'm not saying Caicedo is not a good footballer. I'm not saying he's not good. I'm not saying he's bad. But all I'm saying is that you don't compare. If you want to compare players with Declan Rice, you start picking Vitinha. You pick players like Pedri. You might even you look at players like João Neves. Those are guys that you compare with Declan Rice. His levels have gone so high over the years. So you don't. Oh my God! It is just wrong. The comparison, as far as I'm concerned, is wrong. You don't compare him. You don't compare those two guys together. The levels, is different. It's different. Declan Rice, this is one player that the coach will tell him to play as a six. He plays it fantastically well. And then the next game, the coach moves him up. He tells him to play as an eight, and he does that fantastically well. And then you compare him to a guy who, he just plays in one position. That is wrong. Guys, that is wrong. If you have any football knowledge, you don't do that. You don't do that. You don't do that. Declan Rice is levels above Caicedo. He's levels above Caicedo. Caicedo is a good midfielder. He's a good footballer. But if you want to compare, if you're trying to bring in, players in the mood of Caicedo, then you start talking about the likes of, maybe Gimenez, or the likes of Tonali. the likes of Ugarte. Those are the ones in the same bracket as Caicedo. You don't call Declan Rice. No, Declan Rice is a world beater. He's a world beater. So, guys, that argument that Caicedo is better, or the statement that Caicedo is better than Declan Rice, is, as far as I'm concerned, is pure rubbish. It's utter nonsense. Utter nonsense. Top three midfielders in world football today: Vitinha, Pedri, and Declan Rice. And that is it. So, guys, let me hear your thoughts in the comment section. Who do you think is better? Declan Rice, for sure, is, as far as I'm concerned, as a better midfielder. But who do you think is better? To my Chelsea's brother, to my Chelsea brother, to my Chelsea fans on the channel, let us hear your thoughts. Who do you think is a better midfielder? And also drop a like and subscribe to the channel.